Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Maximizing Your Digital Presence, Part 1, presented by Curve and Easton International. Today, we're going through creating an online experience to boost your sales. I'm going to hide my video now so you can see all of the presentation. I will quickly introduce myself. Many of you already know me or have seen me at one of the Curve shows. I work for Easton International. We're a sales agency working in the industry for over 30 years, representing men's and women's premium to luxury brands in the US. We're not only a good representation of the brand, but we partner with each of our stores to maximize their success by offering educational tools, kind of like this webinar, product training, selling analyzation, and recommendations from our entire team. I've been at Easton since 2016. I work a lot with press and PR, which means I try to get the brands that you stock in your stores seen in the media. I have an editorial background. I worked at a lot of online magazines and helped with their social media. And that helps me turn around and get that marketing and social media assistance to all of our stores.
I'm sure you have a pretty good idea of what's going on in the world right now. Just to give you some statistics of what's going on digitally, here is a study from Shopify, and they found that there are 5 basic buying habits that have arisen from the pandemic and are going to stick around for a while.
83% of the customers that they polled in the US and Canada said that they made at least one online purchase during the first 3 months of the pandemic. So we're all shopping online. 60% said they shopped online more in that period versus the same in the previous year.
18 to 34-year-olds reported the biggest increase, with 68% saying they spent a lot more time online during the pandemic, and 9% said they were new to e-commerce.
Shopify also found that 61% of the customers polled are seeking out local businesses to make purchases from. This is huge and amazing news. 66% of the customers also learned about those local businesses from recommendations. This can be friends or family or social media, which we'll talk about later. Plus, 61% of buyers said they plan to buy from these kinds of businesses 6 months from now. That means holiday shopping is more than just Cyber Monday this year. Every single day is Cyber Day, and that means digital shopping is here to stay. Curbside pickup and local delivery are also important categories for consumers, as well as virtual experiences. Can be free or paid online experiences, can be with your shop or on social media. So we'll talk about that more.
What does this mean for all of us? How do we respond to this new digital landscape?
During the pandemic, when all of your stores were shut down, we were seeing a huge increase of online shopping. And according to the results in not only this poll, but talking with everyone in the industry, people are still planning to buy online. And this is going to continue through the next several years. If your website wasn't a priority for you before, it should be now. It's a great way to keep your business running when either the doors are closed or you have a reduced amount of people coming into your store.
We also recognize that a lot of you are managing all of these digital assets with reduced staff and support. We know sometimes you don't always have the energy or the time to manage everything as perfectly as you want to. And that's why we've created this webinar to give you the tips and strategies to help you save time and energy and be successful online.
We want to help you continue the success and operation of your websites that have blossomed or just started or optimized during the pandemic.
And we want to help you to continue to succeed, not only just over the next few months, but the next few years as well. In our webinar series of Maximizing Your Digital Presence, today is part 1, and we'll go through how to create an online experience that really boosts those sales. Part 2 will be tomorrow, and we'll talk about expanding your customer reach on social media.
Here's an overview of what we'll cover today for your website. We'll talk about your homepage, everything you need to have there to really grab people and make those sales, what your detail and shopping pages should look like, any kind of experience pages that you really have to make your page come alive. I'll also give you some checklists so you can easily go through everything and make those optimizations, as well as any next steps. I want to start by going over some website platforms. Many of you have heard of these or use these already, but just to cover all our bases, Shopify is a really great tool and site to use to make sales and have a shopping page. Squarespace, Wix, and WordPress are all great. You can add shopping templates and widgets on top of your plans already. Each of these also has a customizable template that give you a place to start. You can kind of drag and drop your imagery and copy into there, and it sets everything up for you. Everything also has a business plan, so customers' information is safe and secure, and they can easily shop and make purchases from your site. Okay, guys, what's the very first thing that somebody's going to see when they come to your web page? It's the homepage. It's your first impression and opportunity for sales conversion. So you really want to put your best foot forward, put your personality out there, your point of view, the best of everything that you have to offer. Shopify found that on average, people spend about 10 to 20 seconds on your homepage. It's not a lot of time. What this means is that from a design perspective, you need to make everything very clear and flow easily and really highlight the paths that customers should take. So how do you do this all in a very succinct but lovely way to attract your customer? First, I want you to think about how you would sell to them in person. If somebody walked into your door right now, you would probably ask them what brought them in or maybe what they're looking for. I know you can't exactly do this online, but I want you to think about what your in-person customers have said to you and translate that online. If somebody walked into your store, normally you would suggest or show off any new arrivals. Your site should do the exact same thing. You should also highlight your best categories. So this is what people come into your store asking for. This is what you know your customers like. Are you a bridal place? Are you super sexy? Are you all about the comfort? Do you have a lot of maternity stuff? Are you all about the sports? You know, is it lingerie or tights? Whatever they want, whatever your biggest categories are, those should be on your first page. If you're not sure about these, you can also base it on your location. The examples I have here are from Sugar Cookies Lingerie. Bridal is a big part of their business because they sit next to a shop that sells bridal gowns. It's a great way to use your geography to tie into your store and figure out what your shoppers may be looking for. So determine those categories and choose enticing lifestyle images and copy to really pull people in so they start shopping. But remember, keep it clean. You wouldn't really overwhelm an in-person customer with every single thing in your category. That would be so overwhelming when you just walk in. It's exactly the same for your site. Choose your top things and feature those. You can change it according to season, whenever you have new stuff available, and it'll also keep your web page looking fresh and new. This is going to be the main body of your store. You can also add a little bit about your store on the bottom, but make sure to focus on these categories because these are really what shoppers are going to see. And speaking of those images, a study by MIT neuroscientists discovered that the human brain can identify images seen for as little as 13 milliseconds. It takes 13 milliseconds for your customers to determine if this is something that they want to buy or not. Our brain processes images 60,000 times faster than text, meaning we are reading these images more than we are reading texts. And that's why we're recommending having these amazing images on your homepage. You can do these photos yourself, whether you do them for photography or create them, but these are things you can get from brands. Ask your agent or rep, ask the brands to give you these lifestyle images so you can use them for your site. If you want to put your own special twist on them, you can even update these in free editing software like Canva, Photor, or Photoshop. I've used an example here from Obot. I've put it into Canva, which is a platform I use all the time. It's very easy, very drag and drop. And I've just put the heading new arrivals on it, and my picture is ready to download and go up on my site. We'll start with the main or top navigation bar. It's one of the first things that your customers will see. It's that first menu, the first group of categories that could really interest your customer in some of your products. Andy Crestodina, a strategic director of Orbit Media Studios, recommends using no more than 7 of these top categories. The example I have here from Trashy Diva has 6, so that's a perfect amount. And it really comes down to, again, those main categories. If you had every single brand and every single product that you owned in this top navigation bar, it would be so overwhelming. It would be like going to a restaurant and they hand you this small phone book menu and you're like, where do I even start with this? There are too many options. So go ahead and filter everything down, get those 7 or fewer options, and then you can make drop down menus like this example from Trashy Diva. If you've got a lot of brands or categories and want to feature other things, this is a great example to use to do for that. We also read from left to right. So make sure that the most important categories for you are at that left-hand side and then decrease in importance as you go to the right. Think about, how do people come into your store? Do they ask for specific brands? Or do they say, I want pajamas, I want a sports bra or something like that? Use that to determine what these top categories would be and then make your drop down menus. If you want to get a little feedback from your customers and can't ask them in person, a great way is to do a social media campaign or an email about how your customers shop. We'll talk a little bit more about social media later, but this could help you determine how your customers shop and could help you determine those main image categories on your homepage as well. It is a great place for social media links in the top of your website, but make sure to focus on those categories. Remember, your site is about selling. You don't want them to leave and go somewhere else. You want them to click on something that they can buy in your shop. So now that you have the top and main body all set, it's time to look at your bottom navigation. Now, just because it's at the bottom doesn't mean that it's less important. This is where you want to house a lot of information. This will be replicated on every single other page of your site. So anything you really want to be at your shopper's fingertips should be down in this bottom navigation. This is where you can have contact information, your address, maybe a little link to a map, definitely your store hours, any social media links, all of the social media links, as well as any main body categories that you couldn't put up in that top navigation. It's a great place for some of those other things, like maybe you have a blog or were recently featured in the press. If you've got an FAQ page, this is a great place to put those as well. Another thing that's a more recent update is a COVID regulations page. If you are requiring people to wear masks, if you have sanitation standards, what you do for your stores, how to keep people safe, you do curbside delivery or pickup, this is where you want to put that so your customers immediately know that information if they do want to visit you in person or pick up their items in person. You'd also want to put any other payment options that you accept in the bottom navigation. If you're working with Afterpay, so your customers can split up their payments to purchase items for you, that's become really important. A lot of people's financial situation has changed during the pandemic, but this gives them options to still purchase items from you, but still make it affordable and fit to their budget and their new financial situation. Another very, very, very important thing to have on your homepage is some sort of email capture system to get those emails from your customers. Study from WP Beginner, which is a WordPress blog, and Direct Marketing Association said email lists get 10 times higher conversions than a social media campaign. Social media is kind of tricky because it relies on people seeing you, whatever kind of algorithm they've got going on that day, their policies, their message, and their restrictions. Emailing is all controlled by you. That way, it's a very active way to get in touch with your customers and bring them to your store. If you have an email system set up already, something like MailChimp, Shopify, Constant Contact are all great ones. You can put a pop-up on your homepage. You can use Shopify or MailMunch to create this pop-up. That way it's directly in the face of your customer as soon as they come to your website. You can also put it somewhere in the main body. That's where I found this one from Bellflour. You can make it cutesy. It says keep us in your top drawer. That's definitely something that would attract attention while showing off your personality as well. I'd also recommend putting it on your detail pages so people can get notification for any out of stock items. You know they're interested if they want an email for something that's out of stock. So that's a great way to make that sale. This should also be in your footer bottom navigation section as well. All right, let's go over the homepage checklist. Make sure you're promoting your best categories with enticing images. Have an easy and refined main navigation bar with prioritized pages and categories. All of your contact information is there so your customers can easily locate it. You've got your important categories in the footer navigation as well, and you have an email capture system set up. Okay, moving on to detail pages. Remember those guys from MIT that said 90% of information transmitted to our brain is visual? Yes, that means you need images. They are everything. They're the first thing that entices your customer to buy. Copy then comes in at the end and kind of closes the deal. So, what images do you need? Lifestyle images are fantastic to have. They're very attention grabbing. You need high quality images that really pull the customer in. They also get the customer to kind of imagine how this would fit into their lives, maybe what they would wear it with if they already have it in their closet. These are also great for you to repurpose for your social media. We also recommend having model images as well. This allows the customer to see the entire thing on a body and kind of judge how that would fit for them. Flat or product images, while maybe not as vital, are a great additional asset. It keeps the customer engaged and interested and looking at the product. You can also have some social media images on your website. These are great, again, as just an additional asset, an additional thing to have for your customers to look at and engage with. Everything needs to be as high res as possible. It would be great if you can even have something that zooms in so customers can see the fine detail. If you don't have that, a close up of embroidery or the lace can be especially helpful. All of these can come from the brands that you represent. Tell them you want as many images as they can give you. If they don't have them, ask your rep to push the brand to create these. Brands are adjusting just as much as you are to the new digital world, and your feedback and needs really give them the direction for what they need to create to help support you in your selling. Here is a quick SEO tip for you concerning your images. And the SEO is search engine optimization. It's a really big, kind of scary term, but it really just means that your images will rank higher in the Google Analytics so customers can find your images. If you were to Google something, we've all seen that articles can pop up and images can pop up. So this is a great way to see your images pop up in those rankings. All you have to do is rename your images. Normally you would get something from a brand that's like a mishmash of numbers and symbols and things that your customers really want to understand. Are they really going to walk in and ask for an HK14 in Gala? Probably not. They are going to ask you for a OBOD unpadded red lace bra. They may not even say OBOD. They just want a red lace bra. But if you have renamed your image to this, this is what a customer is going to put in a Google search engine or any search engine, and your image is now better identifiable so Google can pull it up for that customer. I know what you're thinking. It would take forever to do this for every single one of your images. You don't have to go back and do them all. Maybe start doing this with images you're uploading now, or identify one or two major products that you want to update this for. Your images are now easier for customers to find when doing a Google search, and there's a great chance of directing customers straight to your website. Remember what I said about that copy closing the deal? Now it's time to take a look at that. Informative and engaging is what you want to go for. As you said, the images are what really pull customers in, but the copy can make or break a sale. Sometimes images are amazing, but if they're lit differently or maybe there's some editing going on, there are some deals that you can't always see. What if I were a customer that I really only wore things mostly made with cotton? I can't tell that from an image. That's when I look at the description to double check. The description needs to not only describe the product, but any special features, any sort of fit tips, or maybe include a size chart as well as the fabric content. This is all stuff that you can get from your brands. So ask them for copy. They probably have professionals writing all this copy for you, so you can just cut and paste. But it does make a difference if you put your own personal twist on it. This example is from Gigi's House of Frills, and the first thing you see here is meow. This is actually the description from a leopard print chemise. And with just a few words, they've made this fun and engaging and kind of feisty. And it really gives me an idea of what Gigi's House of Frills is also about. But remember, you can still upsell through your copy. If you were in a store and a customer picked up a bra, I know you would always give them the matching panty and maybe the garter too. That's exactly what you should do on your website. Send them to matching items from what they clicked on here or something similar. You see the example here has the rest of the Millicent collection. They also have a link to all of the Dita Von Teese lingerie. So you can send your customers to items by the same brand or designer or something similar, maybe like a tiger print if you were attracted to this leopard print. It's a great way to upsell to get your customers not only purchasing something, but purchasing more than one thing. To recap, here's what you want in your detail pages. You want those amazing high-res lifestyle, model, and product images. Take them time, rename a few of those images for that SEO. Use videos if you've got them. Be informative, engaging, and personalize some of your copy. Put your unique twist on there. And send your customers to other pages on your site. Don't forget that super, super important email capture system should be on your page somewhere. We spoke a little bit about personality on the last site, and there are so many places to really put your personality into your own website. Your personality, your store's unique point of view, how you say things, how you show things, it's all why customers come to you, why they buy products from you, why they trust you with recommendations. You can put this into your website and create a really memorable and engaging experience for your customers. And of course, the more they know about you, the more they engage with you, the more likely they are to make that purchase. So there are a lot of different ways you can do this, a lot of different stores with a lot of different personalities. But here are some great ways for you to put your personal spin on your website. First of all, you can share your story. Share how your store got started, what your vision is, what your personal aesthetic is. I also love fitter favorites. Maybe you can put an icon by your fitter's favorite items or, put a little quote from them. If you were in a store, this is a conversation you would have in the fitting room. You'd be like, oh, this is Jennifer's go-to bra. She wears it every day. Or, that Kelsey, she bought this for her wedding. This was her wedding lingerie. That's something you would do in person and would be perfect to put that personal touch on your website. Customer and best-selling favorite. Then can you put a little star by your best-selling items? This way customers know these are tried, true, and tested, approved by your customer base. Or maybe you can ask some of your favorite really dedicated customers to just write a little blurb, maybe a sentence or two about that product. It's just like looking at a restaurant menu, seeing that little star by different dishes, it really draws your attention and say, hey, this is something good, you want to look at it. You can also put some great reviews on your site that really share the story of people's experience with you. This is a beautiful handwritten letter to Zoe and Co. by one of their customers. At the top, it says, all through high school, all I wanted was a visit from the boob fairy. And guys, that's the boob fairy in the corner. But this person had such an amazing experience at Zoe and Co. that they hand wrote this beautiful letter. It allows your customers to see that they have a wonderful, intimate experience waiting for them and will keep them coming back to you. Also, put info on your store and your associates, their backgrounds, what they do, their favorite products. It's just like going to the same hairdresser every time or having a personal trainer. The more the customer gets to know you, the more personal and attached they are. And every interaction is meaningful with you. And that means every interaction with your site can be meaningful. And if they have that personal connection to you, it not only increases the likelihood of the initial purchase, but many return purchases. A blog is also a fantastic page to add to your site. All those fun conversations that you have in the fitting room, all that advice that you've given over the years, the ideas and the bra wisdom that you want to share, this is the place to do it. You can either record a video of you saying it or just write it all out. And make sure to link any specific products that you highlight in these to a place on your site where a customer can purchase that product. We've talked about email capture before, but I'm putting it here again because it's so, so important. And it's a vital part of getting customers back to your site. You can even add in options like a little birthday gift or maybe discount to entice people to sign up. Yes, you've got to have your social media. It needs to be on your site, but this is such a huge topic and it really deserves its own presentation. So I'll tell you more about that in a bit. If you have a point system or a reward system, it's a great way to entice people to make those repeat purchases. You'll have a loyal clientele and not only increase purchases, but purchase amounts. You can have an option to create a wish list, put their favorite styles from your site into a wish list that, yes, maybe they could send to other people to help loved ones shop for them. And if you have that in your system, you can now send them a gentle nudge through your email that these things are waiting for them in their wish list. Gift guides are also great, especially with the holiday season coming up. It shows the best gifts that you have to offer, and especially if somebody needs a little direction. Size charts and fit information are great to have on your site, not only on individual products, but especially working in the intimates industry. We all know how important fit really is. This fit chart from Annabella Fine Lingerie really spells out in easy steps how a customer can do their own fitting at home and get their bra measurement. It's a great little guide for your customers to be able to tell what size they should order from you. Creating a quiz is an amazing way to engage people. Maybe it tells them what kind of style they want or what kind of fit they should have. If you're looking to create something like that, there's a Shopify app that's really helpful. And then you can have customers put in their email address to get the results from their quiz. And now you have their email for your list. You can also create a download, something like this fit guide, or maybe a gift guide or bra tips in general, and have the customer put in their email to receive that download. And now you have those emails for your list. Just make sure that everything is legal and you disclose that you're adding them to your email list and that they have the ability to unsubscribe if they'd like. And that's it. You just got a crash course on building a website that really works hard for you in getting those sales. So where do we go from here? What do you do? It's time to take a look at your website. You'll have this presentation. Curve will send it to you that you can reference and use those checklist slides to make your updates. Don't worry about doing everything all at once. Update things as you go along. Update that homepage first, as it's the first thing people really see. But no matter where you are in the process of making these updates, if you're a store, a boutique, or a small online store, Easton International is offering you a free website assessment. Guys, a free website assessment. Our entire team will take a look at your site and make personal recommendations for you. This is part of our commitment to our partnership with you. We really want you to succeed. We want to help you adjust to this new digital way of doing things. And this is the way that our team is here to support you. I want to thank everybody for your questions. I tried to work a lot of them into the presentation today, but if I didn't get to something that you really wanted to learn more about, my email is here. Please email me with any questions that you may have, and email me to get that free website assessment as well. But guys, this is not the end.
Part 2 of this webinar series airs tomorrow, Thursday, October 29th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be talking about everybody's favorite hot topic, social media. On behalf of the Easton team, thank you for joining me for this webinar series, and I hope to see you tomorrow.